Hello everyone and welcome to Katharine's Q&A, episode 24. This is a series where you can ask an author pretty much anything. And today we're going to be talking about how to handle negative reviews. So here's the thing about reviews. Reviews are there for people's honest opinion they're there to talk about what they think of your work, good, bad, or ugly. And that's the sum of it. So though you want to have a good review and you really desire, everybody to love your work, you will get a negative review at some point in your life. No work is going to please everybody because people's interests vary so widely that your work is not going to be 100% liked. That's the case, I'm sorry. But what you do hope is that the majority of people who find your book, obviously like your genre, like your topic, maybe already have read some of your work before, and then will like your newest book. And then we'll let you know. That's what you want. Now, when you get a negative review, especially if you're early on and it's maybe even your first, it can be distressing, frustrating, make you angry, make you want to cry, depending on how harsh the reviewer was. So I understand your feelings will be affected when you receive something less than perfect. Now, with that said, the first thing you need to know is don't try to engage with the person who wrote it. You don't know what they were feeling, what was going on their end, or they could have just had a very bad day. Maybe somehow they were misguided and got your book thinking it was going to be about something totally different, and then they're angry about that. I mean, there could be 102 reasons why they didn't like your work at the time, but you don't really want to engage people because, especially if they are in a bad day, they may be just, hankering for a fight. Also, it may seem unfortunate, but you can't really take down negative reviews, especially on the big platforms like Amazon and Goodreads, for multiple reasons. Again, what the platforms want is 100% honesty from people who post. And if you have a book that has 1,000 reviews and all of them are 5, something sounds a little fishy about that if they're all glowing. So one, it gives it a sense of reality. And unfortunately with the author, yes, you're going to have something bad and it might pull down your rating, because all of them do affect your star rating, and your rating on Amazon affects your searchability, etc., so on. So it is very, very frustrating when you get one or more negative reviews because it does kind of ding you in different ways. But there's a good way to approach negative reviews, and that's going through and reading them, taking a moment to, kind of process what was being said, because you can learn from them. Now, if you get one or two reviews that say something, that they didn't like, and no one else mentions that, and so you have 2 that are naysayers and 100, may not be anything to worry about. It just maybe not have been their taste of writing or their style of narration, etc., so on. But if you start seeing negative views crop up and there are similar themes, then you want to start paying attention, because that is alerting you that you have a flaw or some kind of problem that might need to be attended to in either this work or an upcoming work. For instance, maybe you get comments about how your character is really flat, or you've left open plot holes and stuff like that. You might want to start considering the what and the why. If they give you specific examples, kind of learn from them, so then your future works you can challenge yourself to improve on your writing skill, and the people who may not have liked book 1 may end up falling in love with book 2, 3, 4, etc., so on. So you can learn from them, and it can be beneficial for an author to read negative reviews and understand that just because they didn't like your book doesn't mean they don't like you as a writer or won't like you in the future. You can change their mind going forward. So, but don't take an odd one every odd one down to heart, but what you do want to do, again, is look for trends, take note of that. On the flip side, if someone notes a grammar error, spelling error, and actually points it out, you can go in and correct that right away. That's a nice thing about publishing through platforms like Amazon, because it's really easy to make adjustments to your documents and re-upload them and correct them. So as soon as a spelling error is pointed out, you can go in, make the correction, and move forward with your life. Now, kind of, again, going with that, when dealing with negative reviews or comments on other platforms, for instance, Facebook, there are different ways you can approach those comments. You can leave them be if they are particularly upsetting to you or you're worrisome to you. You do have an option on Facebook to hide a comment, and if you have a negative comment, there's like the 3 dots next to it, and if you click that, it'll have options like delete, hide. I think there are 1 or 2 others. And you want to click hide the comment, because what hiding the comment does is the comment's still there. You see it, the writer sees it, I think the writer's friends see it too, but nobody else. So you know it's there, they know it's there, but they don't know you've hidden it, so no one else in the world can see it. And that helps eliminate backlash, because if you delete the comment and then the writer realizes that, they can come back even more verbally abrasive next time, and you really don't want that. So you have that option to hide comments on Facebook, but as for reviews on other platforms like Goodreads and Amazon, they just have to stay there. Now, one other thing I do want to talk about quickly about negative comments, there are the issues of trolls or blackmailers that has come to light, especially of recent. And these are people who just want to either be mean, or they want something out of you. They think they can use this angle to get whatever it is they want. Now, as an example of recent, Goodreads, it was brought to light that there were some trolls going around picking authors and then trashing every book they had through reviews and negative stars, 1-star reviews, and horribly abrasive reviews, and this affected their ratings as an author, and obviously that's horrifying to realize that someone's gunning after you. I think with the issue with Goodreads, the people who were trolling were also sending messages to the authors, blackmailing them for, I don't remember if it was money or something. Again, they were trying to get something out of the authors, threatening them and saying, you will continue or you will have these permanently on your records unless you do whatever it is we want, and if you do it, we'll give you a nice review. So thankfully Goodreads and the authors have started alert Goodreads of this, and Goodreads caught on, and that has now since then brought to light, and Goodreads is trying really, really hard to prevent trolls like that to continue. But they do exist. If you feel like any of your writing or any of your writing on any platforms is being trolled for whatever reason, again, blackmail or just, someone just being mean to be mean, you can gather data and inform that platform. I would, take times and dates of when these reviews were posted. I would obviously note who's the one who's giving you all those negative reviews, how many, take note of the number of them, because if it's one person trashing one, might not be a troll, just could be an angry person. On the other hand, if the same reviewer is going around and just dinging you on all your books, then you might have a problem. And you, again, take all that information. If you receive a blackmail letter, obviously copy and paste and send it again toward whatever platform is the host. And hopefully you think, again, Goodreads is trying its best to eliminate this issue. Obviously, I would hope that, platforms like Amazon, et cetera, so on, if they ever had a similar issue, they will deal with it in kind. But that would be the only situation where I would request reviews to be taken down. Outside of that, if you get an odd one here or there, kind of just grin and bear it. Note what they have to say. If there's anything important you can finagle out of it that may help you improve your writing in the future, that's great. But outside of that, just know that one bad review here or there, it's not going to be an end of the world. And also revel in every time, you receive a good one, because good ones just make you feel amazing. But anywho, that is what I have today. Just make sure, yep, I think I covered everything. So that's what I have today about dealing with kind of negatory reviews or comments on your platforms, and, dealing with them with tact is the best. And I guess until next time, if you have a question for me, post them in the comments below or message me on social media. And Skull.